Welcome to Vibe and Voice, where every topic finds its voice. Packers and Dolphins, Week 13, Thanksgiving showdown, right? Injuries galore, ups and downs, who's in, who's out. Let's break it down.
Exactly. A real roller coaster leading up to kickoff, especially for Green Bay. Remember those three question marks? Myers, McDuffie, Fitzpatrick? All questionable. End of our seats.
Oh, totally. Myers with the pectoral issue, McDuffie's ankle, and Fitzpatrick's back. Limited practices early in the week, not a good sign. Then, bam, full participation by Wednesday. Talk about a turnaround.
Right? Gave Packers fans a glimmer of hope. And the payoff? All three suited up. Huge sigh of relief, I bet.
Absolutely. Especially Myers, given the O-line's depth issues. Rookie Jordan Morgan on IR? They needed Myers.
Yeah, and McDuffie's return was crucial too, with Cooper out with the hamstring and, well, let's not forget Jamin Davis now with the Vikings. Then at linebacker, Fitzpatrick back? Added bonus for sure.
But there were still holes. Alexander, Cooper, Daubs? All out. That's tough.
Oh yeah? Big losses, no question. Alexander's absence, a big hit to the secondary, right? And Daubs? Receiver core takes a hit there too.
Definitely. And Monk, a healthy scratch? Interesting choice.
Right? Now on to Miami. They had their own injury puzzle. Fuller and Walker Jr. out. Concussion and hamstring, respectively.
Yeah, and some other inactives. Bonner, Stoll, Eskridge. Coaching decisions, most likely. Standard stuff.
Uh-huh. But the big news? Armstead. Questionable with the knee, but he played. That's a win for the Dolphins O-line. And guess who's back? Jeff Wilson Jr. Finally.
Oh, good for him. And Wynn, off the PUP list. Meyer, the rookie center, both active, plus Huntley back as the emergency QB.
Lots of moving pieces, for sure. So to wrap it up, Green Bay dodged a bullet with Myers, McDuffie, and Fitzpatrick. And Miami got some key players back, despite the lingering injuries. A real pregame drama impacting both teams' playoff hopes. Intriguing stuff.
So Myers, McDuffie, Fitzpatrick, all questionable. Real nail-biters there. Pectoral, ankle, and back issues, right?
Yeah, and those limited practices early in the week, not exactly inspiring confidence, were they? Especially with the Packers' depth issues already, you know?
Exactly. I mean, think about it. Rookie Jordan Morgan on IR, Alexander and Cooper out. Daubs sideline thin at so many spots. They needed those guys.
Oh, for sure. And then boom, full participation by Wednesday. Talk about a turnaround. What a relief, EH.
Huge. Absolutely huge. Getting Myers back especially was massive. The O-line was already shaky, and McDuffie, with Cooper and Davis out, they were scraping the barrel at linebacker.
No doubt. McDuffie's speed and coverage skills, essential against a team like Miami. Every little bit helps.
Right. And Fitzpatrick? Well, he's a solid blocker, good depth at tight end, always a plus to have him available. So, best case scenario for Green Bay, right?
Pretty much, yeah. But let's be real, those other absences, Alexander, Cooper, Daubs, those still stung. Alexander especially. A lockdown corner like him? Irreplaceable.
Yeah. And Daubs? The receiving core is definitely hurting without him. And hey, what about Monk being a healthy sketch? What's the story there?
Interesting. A coaching decision, I guess? Maybe they're trying something new, or perhaps they were saving him? Who knows? But yeah, definitely a head-scratcher.
So, we were talking about those key Packers players, right? Myers, McDuffie, Fitzpatrick, all questionable going into the game. Real edge-of-your-seat stuff.
Yeah, remember those early practice reports? Not looking good, not to at all. Monday, Tuesday limited, or no participation. I mean, Myers with the pectoral issue, McDuffie's ankle, Fitzpatrick's back. Packers fans were sweating bullets, right?
Oh, absolutely. Especially with the team's depth issues already. And then Wednesday's practice report, boom, full participation for Myers. Talk about a game changer.
Right? I mean, that signaled a major shift. Suddenly, there's hope. And McDuffie and Fitzpatrick? They also showed improvement, going from non-participants to limited participation. Small steps, but
Huge implications. It suggested they were trending in the right direction. Still uncertain, of course, but much better than before. It gave everyone a reason to be optimistic.
yeah, absolutely. Remember that sound effect? Sound effect? Short, crisp sound effect. That perfectly captured the moment, I think. It really ramped up the anticipation.
It did. It did. And then the announcement, all three active. What a relief, EH. Huge for Green Bay. I mean, think about it. Myers anchoring the O-line, McDuffie bolstering the defense, Fitzpatrick adding depth at tight end.
Game changers, all of them. It completely changed the outlook for the Packers. That pregame drama, the uncertainty, it really added another layer to the Thanksgiving showdown. Intriguing stuff.
So let's talk about the impact of those returning players, right? Myers, McDuffie, Fitzpatrick. I mean, getting Myers back was absolutely crucial. Imagine if he'd been out. Disaster, right?
Oh, yeah? Total disaster. Especially with Morgan already on IR, the O-line would have been decimated. Decimated.
Exactly. They were already thin there. No Myers? It would have been Rodgers running for his life on every single play.
Ha! No kidding. And McDuffie? Don't even get me started. With Cooper out with the hamstring and Davis Godman, they needed him back.
Oh, for sure. The linebacker core was, well, let's just say it wasn't pretty. McDuffie's speed and coverage skills, essential. Absolutely essential.
Right. Every little bit helps. And Fitzpatrick, too. Not a flashy player, but a solid blocker. Good depth at tight end. Always useful.
Yeah. Especially with Musgrave still out. They needed that extra body. So, all in all, getting those three guys back, huge win for Green Bay. No question.
Absolutely. Sound effect. Short, crisp sound effect. But, let's not forget, they still had some serious holes to fill. The host mentioned it, right? Injury woes, plural.
So, the Packers, right? They had those three big names out. Alexander, Cooper, and Doubs. Knee, hamstring, concussion. Tough breaks.
Yeah, no kidding. Those are significant losses, for sure. Alexander especially, right? Lockdown corner. Big loss for the secondary.
Absolutely. And Cooper? Already thin at linebacker and losing him? Oof. That definitely hurt.
Yeah, and Dowds, too. He was starting to really make a name for himself. The receiving corps definitely felt his absence.
No doubt about it. And then there's Monk, right? Healthy scratch? What was that about?
Right? I mean, healthy but inactive. A bit of a head scratcher, isn't it? Maybe a coaching decision, trying to shake things up, or saving him for, well, I don't know.
Yeah, bit strange. But anyway, moving on to Miami. They had their own issues, it seems.
Oh, for sure. Fuller and Walker Jr. both out. Concussion and hamstring, not ideal.
Not at all. Quarterback and linebacker, right? Those are key positions.
Exactly. And the host mentioned some other inactives too, right? Bonner, Stoll, Eskridge. Probably just standard coaching decisions. Nothing too surprising there.
Yeah, probably. But still, every player counts, right? Depth is crucial, especially this late in the season.
Absolutely. Every single player. Sound effect. Short, crisp sound effect. Now, what else did they say about the Dolphins? Something about the cornerbacks, right?
So yeah, Fuller and Walker Jr. being out, that must have hurt Miami, right? Cornerback and linebacker key positions.
Oh, absolutely. Big time. Especially Fuller. He's a playmaker, right? A real difference maker.
Yeah, definitely. And Walker Jr., solid linebacker. Always good to have him on the field. So their absence definitely felt, I'm sure.
Right. And what about those other inactives? Bonner, Stoll, Eskridge. What's the deal there?
Yeah, the host mentioned them, right? Probably just coaching decisions, though. Standard stuff. Nothing too out of the ordinary.
Maybe. Still, depth is important. Every player counts, especially in a tight game.
True. But I guess they felt confident in their game plan, right?
I suppose so. So, what about Armstead? He was questionable, wasn't he? Knee injury?
Yeah, but he played. Thank goodness. Big sigh of relief for Dolphins fans, I bet. He's like the anchor of that O-line, right?
Oh, totally. Absolutely crucial to their success. And wait, didn't the host say something about Jeff Wilson Jr.?
Oh, yeah. He's back. Finally. That's great news for Miami. He adds a whole other dimension to their running game, doesn't he?
For sure. A powerful runner, good hands. He's a valuable asset. Definitely a boost to their offense.
So went off the PUP list. That's
big news. Yeah, finally getting him back in the mix. And Meyer, the rookie center, active too. Good to see him getting some reps.
Definitely. Building that experience, right? And Huntley back as the emergency QB. Smart move.
Oh, yeah? Gotta have that backup plan. Always good to be prepared, especially on Thanksgiving, right? Anything can happen.
True. So the host kind of wrapped things up there, right? Talked about the impact of those returning players, Myers, McDuffie, Fitzpatrick. A big boost for Green Bay, for sure.
Absolutely. Mitigated the impact of those other injuries like Alexander, Cooper, and Dowds, was it?
Yeah, Dowds. Big losses, no question. But getting those other guys back, huge. Gave them a fighting chance, right?
Oh, totally. And Miami too, right? Dealing with their own injuries, but also getting some key players back. Sound effect. Short, crisp sound effect. A real back and forth, wasn't it? Intriguing stuff.
So, wrapping up that pregame injury drama, right? Really impacted both teams' playoff hopes, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. A real roller coaster of emotions for fans on both sides, I bet. Especially with so much on the line, playoff-wise.
Exactly. I mean, every game counts at this point in the season, right? But the injuries, man, they added a whole other layer of complexity.
For sure. Think about Green Bay, for instance. Myers, McDuffie, Fitzpatrick, all questionable going into the game. Nail biters.
Oh, yeah? Huge question marks. And the impact? Potentially devastating. I mean, Myers anchors that O-line, McDuffie's crucial for the defense, and Fitzpatrick adds valuable depth at tight end.
Right? Losing any of them would have been a major blow. And with Alexander Cooper and Daubs already out, man, they were walking a tightrope.
Totally. Depth issues were already a concern, right? And then those 3 question marks, it could have been a recipe for disaster.
No doubt. And then, the good news! All 3 sewed it up. What a relief, EH. Talk about dodging a bullet.
Huge. Absolutely huge. It completely changed the dynamic of the game, gave him a fighting chance, right?
Oh, yeah? For sure. But let's not forget about Miami's injury woes either, right? Sound effect, short, crisp sound effect. Fuller and Walker Jr. being out. Significant losses.
Yeah, definitely. Cornerback and linebacker, key positions. And they were already dealing with other inactives too, like Bonner, Stoll, and Eskridge.
Right, thinning out that roster. And Armstead being questionable with the knee, that was a big one.
Oh, for sure. He's the anchor of their O-line. Losing him would have been, well, let's just say it wouldn't have been pretty.
Huh. No kidding. But thankfully he played. Big win for Miami. And Jeff Wilson Jr. being back? Another boost.
Definitely. Adds a whole new dimension to their running game, doesn't he? Powerful runner, good hands.
Totally. So lots of moving pieces, lots of drama, right? And the host mentioned the playoff implications too. Every game matters. Every injury matters.
Yeah, it's a high-stakes game for sure. And these pregame injury updates, they just amplified the intensity, didn't they?
Oh, absolutely. Added another layer of intrigue, made it even more of a must-watch, right? Edge of your seat stuff. Thanks for joining us, folks. And a special shout out to our listeners who've been with us through thick and thin. We appreciate your support. See you next time.
Sound effect. Upbeat and energetic, fades in and up.